Welcome to the Spinning Rock podcast. Conversations for the curious, the seekers, and the builders of tomorrow. With your host, Utkal. May these episodes move you, challenge you, and remind you of your place in the story. Please, enjoy.
Hello and welcome back to the Spinning Rock podcast. This is Utkal here. What's up, everyone? It has been a while. I've been crazy busy. But the playoffs are here, and I just couldn't miss making an episode about these playoffs. So let's just get right into it. The regular season was fantastic. It was an A+ regular season. The Ravens-Steelers game to end the season was absolutely insane. Steelers getting in, Aaron Rodgers getting one final run at it. And overall, it was an A+ regular season, I'd say. And what makes it so interesting is that, this postseason is wide open. We don't have Mahomes in the playoffs, no Joe Burrow, no Lamar Jackson. So we're kind of guaranteed to get someone new out of the AFC at least. The Eagles could go back to back, but they're not looking as dominant as they were last year. So we're looking at a likely new champion, and who knows who's gonna win. League's wide open. All right, let's get into these wild card weekend games. Just before that, let's just hit on the narrative that it's Josh Allen's turn, and I completely agree with that. I mean, he has been the second best quarterback in the league the last 5 years behind Patrick Mahomes. So if he doesn't at least make it to the Super Bowl, if not win it, I think it'll be a huge disappointment for them. But, all right, so the first game we have is the Rams against the Panthers. This game is actually in about 30 minutes. I am recording this, 30 minutes before the game. It's on a Saturday at 4:30. The line is Rams by 10. So the thing is, the Rams lost to the Panthers earlier in this regular season. So this is kind of like the Shakey's game. It might be a blowout, might be a close game. Who knows how the Panthers are going to show up? They haven't been in the playoffs since 2016. I think there's no chance that the Rams take them lightly again. They're they're going to Carolina for this game, which is pretty insane because the Panthers won the NFC South by losing their last game to the Bucs, but since the Falcons beat the Saints, they got in to a tiebreaker. So I just don't think they're riding the right momentum to kind of make this a game. So I'm taking the Rams minus 10 in this game. I think they're going to blow them out. And I think Stafford is going to cook. Devontae's back. Puka's going to ball. And Rams roll. Their defense is pretty solid as well. All right, next game, Saturday night, we got the Bears versus the Packers. The Packers are actually favored in this game, and it is at Soldier Field. There's a lot to like about the Bears in this game. They're just the healthier team. The Packers don't have probably their best player in Micah Parsons. The Bears, Ben Johnson's been balling. He's been cooking up some plays. Caleb's been playing well. Their defense has most takeaways in the NFL. But something's just telling me the Packers are going to win this game. I don't know how they're favored, and that line is kind of fishy to me. So I'm going to take the Packers here. I think Jordan Love is going to step up. I think Christian Watson is going to make this a track meet. He's going to have a couple touchdowns. I think Jaden Reed's going to play well. The defense is, just going to be solid. That's all they have to be. I think it's going to be close at the end, and I think Jordan Love's he's going to pull it out. The thing about the Bears is that their offense is super inconsistent. So, Caleb throughout the first 3 quarters, he's just trying to find the groove of the game, and then they come alive in the fourth. I just don't think that's going to be enough. I think they're going to try to run the ball with that nice little running back duo in Manungai and DeAndre Swift. They're going to get stuffed. They're going to try to go with Caleb, and I think they're going to have a couple turnovers early, and the Packers they're gonna kind of get out in front, and Bears are gonna try to play catch up and not get there. So I'm picking the Packers -2 in this game. Don't feel great about it. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, but that's just what I'm feeling. All right. Next game on Sunday at 1 p.m. This might be the best game of the weekend. The Bills versus the Jags. The Jags have been on a crazy heater recently. I mean, they've won 8-9 straight going into this game. The Bills are the Bills. They look like the Bills of a couple years ago. Probably not as good. Their run defense is a little suspect. They have the best pass defense in the league, though. They do also have the leading rusher in James Cook, who's been balling as well. They have a really good offensive line as well. Their receiver room definitely could use some work. Their tight ends are solid, though. On the other side, the Jags defense is really good. They're really good at taking the ball away. Trevor Lawrence has been playing well. Travis Etienne's been running the ball well. Michelle Tutin's been playing good. They have 3 probably number 1 receivers in Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, and Brian Thomas Jr. All those guys are better than any receiver that the Bills have. So the Jags are really good, and for this game, I'm just not betting against the Bills and Josh Allen. It just feels like their year to me. The Jags are probably the better team. Everyone's picking them. Everyone thinks they're gonna win this game. I'm just not going against Josh Allen. I just can't believe in the Jags. I don't know why. They don't seem like a Super Bowl team to me. I don't think Trevor Lawrence can, play consistently as well if it gets into a shootout with Josh Allen. I think he's going to have a late turnover. And, Sean McDermott's been here a bunch of times. And this is Liam Cohen's first playoff game as a head coach. So, well, he might be a better coach. I think experience matters. And I just think Josh Allen's superhero mode is hard to bet against. So I'm taking the Bills in this one. Bills -1.5 here. Or the Jags are actually favored now. Okay, so it opened as the Bills favored. Now the Jags are. So I'm taking the Bills +1.5. Give me that all day. All right, next game, you got the 49ers versus the Eagles at 4:30 on Sunday. These two teams have had a lot of history. They've been in some really big games the last 5 years, NFC Championship games. So, what a fascinating matchup. Both these teams have big flaws, at least in the regular season. The 49ers can't stop anyone on defense. Their defense is, Fred Warner got hurt, Nick Bosa got hurt, Robert Saleh's done a really good job, but they just can't stop anyone. If you watch that Bears game, they barely hung on at the end to win that game, but they just couldn't stop them any drive. But on the other side, the Eagles' offense has looked very pedestrian the entire season. They just can't find a good rhythm. The thing is, come playoff time, Jalen Hurts shows up. So you know that Jalen Hurts is going to play well, which kind of favors the Eagles in this matchup just because of the 49ers defense. I'm going with the 49ers, though. I think they're going to make this game close. I think 6 points is a little too much. I think they might still lose the game, but I think Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan are going to figure out a way to kind of get that offense rolling again. You know, Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield, catching passes, almost had that 1,000 season again. Just beast. Juwan Jennings, I don't know if Ricky Pearsall is going to play, but if they get Trent Williams back, I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit, play action off of that, keep this game a little close. And you know Purdy's going to play well because he just shows up in the playoffs as well. But that Eagles defense is lights out. I mean, they held the Packers to like 10 points, the Bills to 12 points, won both those games. I mean, their defense is a nightmare matchup, and we saw what the Seahawks defense did the 49ers in Week 18. So it doesn't look like a great matchup for the 49ers. I just think it's too many points in a playoff game. I think Shanahan's going to scheme something up like he always does. Purdy's going to, move this ball. It's going to be a rock fight, low scoring, ugly game, 23-20 kind of game. So I'll take the points all day. All right, next we got the Patriots versus the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. This is a great matchup. When I first saw this matchup as a Patriots fan, I was like, oh, easy peasy. Chargers offensive line banged up. Justin Herbert's been taking hits all year long. He's been pressured the most out of any quarterback. Like, I think he's top 5, like, all time in pressures. So I thought this game would be easy, but then looking deeper into it, the Patriots don't really generate that much pass rush. I think Milton Williams being here is a huge factor. I think he's going to, put a lot of pressure on that A-gap. But other than that, like Harold Landry, Cleveon Chason, they're okay, but, they're not, top of the league at getting to the passer. So we're going to need some pass rush against Herbert. I think Drake May's unbelievable year. I think he should be the MVP. I'm kind of betting with my heart here. I just think it's hard for a Mike Vrabel team it's hard for me to see this team losing just because of the regular season they had. I know people are going to say they beat up on tomato cans and they had the easiest strength of schedule, but, you only get to play the teams that are in front of you. And I think Patriots have shown that they're a very, very good team as, they've destroyed the bad teams. And Drake May is really good against zone coverage, and Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator, he likes to run a lot of zone. Derwin, Khalil Mack scare me a bit. So am I picking with my heart a little bit? Yeah, but I'm taking the Patriots minus 3.5 here. I mean, I'd be very shocked if they lost this game, but their offensive line is just not good enough, and I think it's really hard for teams to win playoff games if you don't have a good trench warfare, which their tackles got hurt. All and Slater both out for the year, so I think the Patriots take this one. They win this game by a touchdown. All right, last game of the week, and on Monday night, we got the Steelers and the Texans at Pittsburgh. Yes, so like I mentioned, that Steelers-Ravens game, absolute cinema to end the year. I mean, I was rooting for the Steelers. Tyler Loop missed field goal was insane. I feel like throughout Aaron Rodgers' career, those kinds of plays kind of went against him, and for the first time, it went in his way. So it feels like some kind of magic, something's brewing in Pittsburgh. I just get that feeling. DK's back. Like, Rodgers won that game with MVS, Adam Thielen, like Pat Freiermuth, Calvin Austin, insane. Like, to me, like, the Texans kind of like peaked around like week 14, 15. Like, their defense was getting cooked by Riley Leonard last week. They do have an absolute like monster like players on the roster. Just like if you go through the names, it's insane. I really love Petrie. He hits hard, but Derek Stingley's one of the best. Obviously Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, just absolute monsters on the edge. So it is a very scary matchup. But Aaron Rodgers does get the ball out very quickly. I think he's gonna hang in there for a little bit longer just because it's a playoff game, and just sit in the pocket for a little bit longer and kind of take those hits so he can get the ball out. If they can get that DK Metcalf like long ball going, I think the Steelers are gonna win this game, and I'm picking the Steelers +3. I mean, Mike Tomlin is 12-0 on Monday night at home. That's insane stat. Steelers, Mike Tomlin just doesn't lose Monday night games at home. So that stadium's going to be rocking. There's some magic pixie dust in the air. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pull some tricks out of his sleeves, some turning back the clock, vintage touchdowns to MVS maybe. I see, Jalen Warren running the ball well. Kenneth Gainwell is playing really well. So CJ Stroud and that offense is just been, they've been okay all year long. Like, nothing crazy. Nico Collins is a great receiver, but they're 2-3. Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, they're rookies, first playoff game. So, and running game, Woody Marks doesn't really frighten you that much. So it's hard for me to kind of see how the Texans are going to put up points. I think Steelers defense is very opportunistic. They do have very horrible lapses in judgment, just like those random, they let Zay Flowers, get those 2 wide open touchdowns, which is insane. And Jalen Ramsey made some boneheaded plays, but they're the highest paid defense, and I think they're going to show up here, and TJ Watt's going to wreck this game. So I'm taking the Steelers +3 here. Alright, so I got the Rams -10, the Packers -2, the Bills +1.5, the Niners +6, the Pats -3.5, and the Steelers +3 to wrap up the weekend. I'm definitely thinking this goes 4-2, 5-1 if everything breaks right. And yeah, I'm very excited for these games. And yeah, I'll be back for the divisional round. Enjoy.